Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. And today I'm here continuing to work on my pocket idea journal or reference journal. And I thought maybe we would explore looking at a couple of pockets using circles. I was looking at a card that I made a long time ago that had circles on the front, and I thought, well, I've never really made too many circle pockets before. There is one type of circle pocket that I will make with you guys that I have done, and I have that those pieces cut to show you guys that circle pocket that I make quite a bit. But I thought, well, maybe I might explore the idea of just doing a circle on the side and making it into a pocket or kind of a tuck spot. So I did cut out some bigger circles and I did trace them. I just used something that was circle in my craft room and made these. I trace around different things. You can use a die cut if you have a die cut. And what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to, as you can see, I lined up my circle, and I guess if you guys want me to measure, I'll kind of measure. This circle is about 5 1/4. But I don't think the size really matters on this one. I think you just use whatever, paper scraps you have and find something that's circular in your house or your craft room to draw around, like a bowl, or if you have a cutting die or a punch. I know some people have little circle cutters, also old templates from scrapbooking. There's all sorts of ways to make circles. And so this one, as you guys can see, I just kind of layered it here because I wanted it to be on the edge, and I'm just going to find it easier to cut because I don't want to cut off my fold accidentally on my journal page. So hopefully everyone's doing well. I know every time I do one of these videos, I try and maybe if I have extra time in my craft room, I try and prep pieces for the next time I sit down and do one of these videos. But I have to tell you guys that my brain is just like going full speed thinking about all of the different ideas for different things. And I don't know if I like that. It looks kind of funny to me. I don't know. I'm just trying to decide if I make it just a little bit smaller on this side, I think. So I'm going to take off one more strip here. So again, I'm just going to trace it down. And you wouldn't have to do this. I'm just going to cut it down just a little bit. Okay, for whatever reason I like that better, that shape. So I am going to put glue on 2 sides, which, I guess technically this would probably be a tuck spot just because there's, there isn't 3 sides to this pocket, but I am going to make it into a pocket, and I'll show you guys how I'm going to do that. You could put some glue right here and then it's definitely a pocket. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to add something, and I just grabbed, I had this little bin next to me of like old scrap tags that didn't get used or things that, here's what it looks like, just lots of little like smaller tags. And so what I think I'm going to do is, I think I pulled out one that kind of matches. Again, that one actually probably matches better. I'm just trying to use up paper pads in my stash, and again, this paper right here that I originally started working with is it's a Hobby Lobby paper pad. I don't remember the name of it. But my idea was on this then to kind of make it into a pocket is you would glue something here down, so then it kind of it's a pocket, on the side, and I think that's kind of cute. I could put this down also. And then if you hang something over the edge, then you have a little tab too, like this one's this tag. This one definitely matches. I can't remember whose digital this one is. If I put it this way, it's kind of upside down. So maybe we'll just put this one here, because I kind of like the idea of having, remembering that I could add a tab to it and make you know, to make my pocket. And then, you know, I would still probably do more layering up on this one, like, you know, there's that, and then, you know, I have a little heart or something like that. You could, you know, do some layering on it. So since I had these just sitting over here in my stash, I probably will do that. So to make it a pocket, then we'll put some glue down here, and then we'll put some glue here. Ooh, and I'm doing this on the back side. Oh, I meant to do this on this side of the paper. Shoot. Okay. Well, I just got to change it around, I guess, here. So this isn't going to go the way I wanted it to, but we'll just put the glue here and still do it. It wasn't my plan. I meant to do it on the other side of this paper, but it is what it is. And, you know, it's still now a pocket because it has a side here, and a side down here. So I'll just cover this up just since I had these pieces sitting here. I think I did that the other day too. I had I had stuff kind of on the wrong side of the page. I need to double check that before I start filming. I think I just get so excited about showing you guys different pocket ideas that I kind of forget to think. So again, then, and I glued this down 100% there. But I could have left this as a little bit of a tuck spot too, but now it's a pocket. So, all right, so then what I was going to put that on this side, and I wanted to kind of do the exact same thing, but just double up the circle. So let's try this again. And do I want the circle on this side? I do. All right. So I'm just starting out the same way. I'm just taking a circle and I'm going to just cut off the edges. You know, and when I'm cutting these circles out, like, this piece would make a nice little layering piece on something. You know, if you had a tag, you could put it on the side of a tag. You could make it into a tuck spot. So make sure you look at your scraps as you're cutting things, because you can definitely use them for other projects. So I'm going to glue that one down right away. All right. Then I was thinking I could double it up somehow, like make a double one and glue another one on top of it. So let's do that. I'm just, again, just going to trace it so I kind of have a rough idea here of the yeah, this one would definitely make a nice tuck spot, that size. All right, so I can glue this one here. And again, these could be, I maybe should have called these tuck spots and saved them for a tuck spot journal, but I'll put something over this side too, so then it'll make it into a pocket. So let me look at this. This one, I don't know if I have a... I just don't have stuff, you know, sitting next to me that actually matches very well, unfortunately. think I'm just going to glue this one down. This is the closest thing I can find in that little stash that somewhat matches. Just had a little bit of glue seeping out over that one. All right. Okay, I do have some little hearts that I might add one of these on here just to decorate it a little bit, I guess. Just for some layering ideas. I just feel like it needs a little something. Oh, that isn't. Yeah, let's do that side. I like that side better. Not the prettiest page. Normally I would have thought that one through a little bit better, but again, I'm just working with stuff I already have on my desk. So this one would be kind of a double pocket, circle pocket, because then I have a tag I could put there and a tag here. And just because of how I put this one down, I could also have a pocket there. So it's actually kind of a triple pocket, but just a double circle pocket. So I am going to just call this one a double circle pocket. Or tuck spot. And then I got to go back and glue down this name of this one. Alright, that one took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So that's not good, I guess, because I had quite a few I wanted to share with you guys today. Alright, so now on the inside, again, we're still kind of working with circles. And I'm going to show you the circle pocket that I do all of the time. And this one I will take, you know, 2 circles that are the same size. And I will cut one of the circles kind of in half. And I'm thinking I'm just going to make a little mark on here because I kind of want this bottom half right here to line up a little bit. So I'm just going to cut it on a straight line. Yeah, that'll work. So now I have a little circle pocket. And then the other thing I forgot to mention before I cut this, one other fun thing you can do is if you have 2 circle pieces, you could stick a brad up here and then make like a hidden writing spot where it just moves that way, which, you know, I've done that before in my journals. But this one I'm just, like I said today, I'm making into a pocket. And this is kind of one of my, I do this one quite a bit in my journals. I think this is kind of a fun little pocket. And I'll measure this circle if you guys need to know that. But again, as long as the circle fits on your page, you can do any size that you want. This circle is about 4 and slightly over 4 1/4. So then I would glue that down, or if you wanted to, you could put it onto another page and have an extra pocket. I think this is a whole page though, so I don't think I want to do that, but maybe it just seems a little, it's like it's going to get lost on the page, so let me just rip this page up. So yeah, that'll work. And then let me find my circle punch. So I might as well make this into a pocket also in the back of this one. I like that side better. So kind of an extra little bonus pocket then. And for me, as long as it's a pocket that I haven't already done in the journal, it's kind of like anything goes in this journal as long as it's a pocket. You know, and it would be cute, I think, if you were to take this, you know, make a bunch of smaller circle pockets. You could fit maybe 2 on a page, or maybe you could stagger 3 on a page. I mean, there's all sorts of variations on this one. And even like, again, I could have put a brad in here and attached it to this piece of paper before I glued it down, and you again could have had a hidden writing spot if you wanted. So again, just be thinking ahead as you're making stuff for your journals or coming up with ideas. Just, you know, mixing and matching your ideas, and that's kind of how what I do a lot when I'm making my journals is I kind of think, oh, wouldn't that look cool once I see something? Because when I saw this too, I thought about, like I said, the little hidden writing spot behind there. Again, I'm not going to do that today, but that would have been a fun idea. So this one's just kind of what I call a basic circle pocket. And then this one right here, then the tag would go in there. And I could have opened it up behind here too, and I could have even put a tag behind here if I wanted to. And again, I have this opened up here if I want a pocket. And then I did also, again, want to point out, so, you know, I had this top part right here, like, if this was a page, I could have made that into a tuck spot, this piece that I offcut, and then you would just glue down the edge, and you'd have something like that. Eventually I will do a tuck spot journal, and I'm sure I will show that one in there at some point. You know, and here, this one too, I mean, decorating it up, you could add a little heart to it, add some lace. Since I have this heart here, I might as well add it. You know, I said I wasn't going to decorate my journals too much, but, or these journals, it's just more for ideas. All right, so then I have this page, and then I had kind of still similar working on, I was thinking I could make a pocket, and I think this page fits. I might have to trim a little bit of it off. Another little circle pocket here. Just kind of another variation. I just got to trim the edge just a little bit. You know, when I make these videos, I try to go through, you know, scraps. Like when I was making the actual pages of this journal, and when I've cut them down, and I try to work with the scraps for making all the pockets first. So this one, what I was thinking of, so I'm going to make this into a pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this at the top. I'm going to figure out where the middle is though. I'm just going to fold it in half. And I'm just adding the notches. You don't have to add notches. It just kind of reminds me that there's a pocket behind there when I'm not adding stuff into my pockets. And so what I was thinking on this one, I'm just going to set this aside. What I was thinking on this one is it would be fun to, again, kind of do like a pocket like this, maybe, with the circles. You know, it probably would have been better to have had a couple of different papers, but I just was cutting up this one. So I'm just going to take my pen and draw again on the back of this one. Yeah, this one would have looked a lot better if I would have done another color of the circle. But right now I really don't want to go cut another one or trace one. I don't have any other paper sitting next to me. I'm just looking at what I have next to me. And I have just that coffee dyed paper, which I don't want coffee dyed paper on top of coffee dyed paper. So I kind of wanted it staggered so that this one was slightly lower than this side. So I'm going to hold it right there and draw again. So I'm going to glue this half circle down real quick. And you could have done this directly onto your journal page. I just thought I would add the extra bonus of having another pocket on it. And this one will go right on top. And then we have a pocket here. And if you wanted to, then you could also stick something this way in your pocket. And then you'd also have the pocket behind here. So let's glue this one in. You know, and this is just a tab sticking out from that side. So I think that's kind of cute. I might just leave that tag in there. Just seeing what else I have. Just finding one that I don't like as well, just since this is just an idea book. I could see myself using this in an actual journal, so. Or do I have another? Oh, I have another one of these. All right. Okay, so, and I'm just calling this one a half circle tucks on a pocket or something like that. So, again, these are just made up names by me. I don't know. They probably have specific names on them. So there would be a pocket there, this pocket here, and then if you wanted to tuck a little something right there. I'll just do that smaller one, I think, on that one. So I think that works for that page. Yeah, so we got all of those done. And so I had hoped to do quite a few more pockets, but I kind of wasted a little bit of time there on those last circle ones. Those took me longer than I thought, but I'll maybe go a little bit over on my time, and if I can edit out some of it, I will. But I thought also something that I love to do for pockets in my journals is to do staggered pockets, and oftentimes I make my staggered pockets or layered pockets also, as I think people call them. And I just base it on whatever scraps I had. So when I was going to do this one, I came up with a couple different ideas of like layering pockets or staggering pockets. So I have this one and then one other one to show you guys that I wanted to at least try to get onto this video. So I'm just going to take a piece, and I guess for people who need the exact measurements, my page is about 5 by 8. You know, obviously this is my journal page. It's folded in half. I have a piece of coffee dyed paper or tea dye paper. This one's a little less than 4 1/4 by 6 1/2 is my layering piece. And so I'm going to make this into a pocket. I have to decide if I wanted a side or a top, and I think then I had another one that I was going to layer on top, and this one is 3 1/4 by 6. And so I was going to stagger that one maybe off to the side somehow, like this, to make a pocket. And then I had another little scrap, and this one was a little over 3 1/2 by 2 1/2. And I was going to maybe set this one somewhere right here as a pocket. So this one I want to make as a top pocket. So I'm just going to do that so I know it's a pocket there. And this one also is a top pocket. And we might as well make this one a top pocket also. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can make them as side loading too. I think it would have worked. Again, I could have had a different size square or something on this one if I wanted to. Again, these were just scraps that I grabbed just to do some staggered or layered pockets. I meant to have this one moved over that way a little bit, but I accidentally glued it down that way, so we'll just leave it. And again, you can glue it down wherever you want. I think I'll go down there because then that has the possibility of putting a bigger tag in it, or a taller tag. So this one, again, I'm just calling this one staggered or layered pockets. And I'll just glue the name of this one down at the bottom. And so this one would have had, you know, the pocket there, pocket here, and also a pocket up there. All right, so I have one more staggered or layered pocket to show you guys that I had laid out. So let me grab the pieces for that. All right, so this one I was thinking, so again, I had my page size. This is one that I showed you early on, just a lace pocket, and I'm just adding to it. I haven't added anything else to the pages. So this page is a little less than 5 by, again, that one's 8 tall. And so I made this the same width of my journal page. And so I was thinking I could put one here, and then I was going to put another smaller pocket, and this one measures 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So I was thinking I could layer that one like that. And then I would put one more up here. And this one is 3 1/2 by 2. And I would glue this one down up here to make a pocket. You know, and again, you could do side loading or top loading on any of these. It doesn't really matter. I think I'm going to do top loading on all of them. So I could do there, there, and, you know, do one up here, I think. So just to remind me that this is a pocket, I'm just going to cut a little notch in this one. And for any of you that are just kind of tuning in for the first time, I'm just kind of doing or exploring different pocket ideas, making an idea or a junk journal from a reference journal. And I'm not really decorating my pockets or anything too much because this one's just an idea journal that I don't need to decorate it when I just need it for ideas. So that one will get glued down here. And most of the time what I think I would do is I would take another, we'll make some extra little circles to put into these pockets, I think, real quick. All right, so let me see what I have for some scraps here. Yeah, let's make some. Oh, I hope this punch isn't dying on me. I've had a couple of my punches bite the dust. You know, some of them I've had for many, many years. This one just isn't cooperating as well as it normally does. All right, so I just want to decorate this just a little bit, just to, because I don't like that it kind of, I can see part of the pocket and then part of the the paper behind it. So an easy way to fix that is just to cut out some half circles. And we'll just fill in the gap because I'll hold it up close so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, or you can see some of the tea-dyed paper and the scrapbooking paper. I don't like that. So now it's not quite as obvious, so I'm going to do that on all of these. Just was seeing if this one fit in. Yeah, that other half of this circle I can fit up here. Then I think I have a couple, just some more scraps that will maybe put a couple bonus things on this one. Do a little visual where I need to cut this one. And again, if you guys don't have a circle punch, but you want to make a notch, all you have to do is like set like a quarter or a bigger coin on top of it and then just trace around to make like a little half circle. You can also use like, I think I showed this in another video, but like my glue stick, I could trace around that also to make a little notch if you don't have a circle punch, but you want to make a notch in your pocket. So now that gives us 3 pockets. There's 1, 2, 3, you know, and you can stick, you know, journal cards or tags in them. But when I was making this one and going through the scraps that were laying next to my cutting station, I was thinking I could add a belly band onto this one, kind of a bonus belly band. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I just had a paper strip, and oftentimes when I have smaller paper strips, if I'm not going to make little master boards or anything like that out of them, I try to make them into little belly bands or layering pieces. So now I also have that as a little belly band right there. And then I had another paper scrap when I cut this one down, and I was thinking I could make another little bonus pocket off to the side down at the bottom. You know, and I could, since I did that, since I still have this half circle, I might as well add one to this spot to just coordinate with the other ones. And normally, some of these papers, I don't know that I would normally have layered all these papers normally together in my journal. But I'm just working from multiple paper pads and just trying to use up stuff. So again, this is just kind of a reference journal. And I'm not being, you know, too concerned about what the papers and the decorating. But I would definitely decorate. Like here, you could add some cute little lace. You could add, you know, a heart, one of those hearts I had that I used on some of the other pages. You know, I could do a heart there, a heart there. Lots of different ideas for decorating. So this one, maybe I'll just put the label again at the bottom. All right, so I think I'm just going to keep on working on a couple things. I mean, this is already going to be a long video, so this one's a really quick and easy one. If you have like any paper bags or smaller gift bags, those make great pockets. So I had this one that just said Very Sweet on it. So I'm just going to add this into my pocket journal just to remind me to use any gift bags that I receive. Sometimes I reuse ones, like if I do some Happy Mail swaps and people put some fun little goodies in little bags, and I repurpose them and reuse them. You can also go out and buy cutting dies that make little bags. I think I actually have one in my stash. And then I don't know if you saw that when I was gluing this down, I actually made the backside into a pocket, and then also the actual bag part into a pocket. I could have also made it into a tuck spot just by gluing down on 2 sides. So that one was a quick and easy one. And I'm just calling this a paper bag pocket. And then you can do a tuck spot or a pocket behind it. I'm just adding that little note up there. And then I might as well do this page real quick, and then I'll call it a day. I still had some other ideas I wanted to share with you, but I'll start the next video with those and keep on working on that other one. Again, when I was cleaning off my little cutting station, I had some little paper strips. And so I was going to show you guys just another quick little way to make pockets is you just put your paper strips, you know, and this will be a triple pocket on here. So I'm going to glue that down. And again, I think I'm going to try and find the middle on all these and make a little punch. And I might try to line all these up so that they're the same. I don't think my punch would go through all 3 papers at one time. Otherwise, I would do it that way, because then for sure you're guaranteed that they're all going to be lined up. But that'll be close enough. So let's glue these down. And again, you just make these the same, you know, width as your paper, your journal page. And then here you would decide, like, if you were to put tags in it, you know, they would obviously have to be shorter tags. Do you want the tags to hang out over the top, or do you want to move this down a little bit? And I think I'm going to move mine down just a little bit. Usually I will put my top and my bottom pockets down first, and then I'll decide where I want the middle one to go after I've decided on the other 2 pockets. And then usually I just kind of eyeball. Hopefully I wasn't out of frame too much there. I might have been when I glued that one down, so I apologize for that. Usually I try to look up more often. We'll go ahead and glue this one down. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball the center. But you could measure it if you're someone who likes to be exact. And so again, you know, you just take a tag. I would probably put several little tags in each of these pockets. You know, if I had tags. Of course, these don't match, but, you know, that just kind of gives you an idea of how cute this would look if you had, you know, several tags or journal cards sticking out of the pockets. So, and again, you could very easily decorate these. You could add little, you know, little ephemera embellishments or laces or trims. And I'm just calling this just kind of a triple horizontal pocket. I think these are just basic pockets, and I've just chosen to add, you know, 3 of them on a page. And I'll just put the little name label down here at the bottom, I think, for this one. All right, so I think we did okay. You know, we did, you know, a little longer video, but we got a few more done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we had 4 pockets on here, so that makes 8. So quite a few pockets in that little bit of time. Again, they were all just kind of basic pockets without a lot of decorating. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. And hopefully I will see you guys back again next time for another episode. Until then, have a wonderful day and happy crafting.